Today, we're going to dive into AI because this is the topic Vicki and I chat about all the time. And we're looking forward to getting into it today.
Absolutely. It's a topic that I think most founders are talking about in some way, shape, or form, either asking the questions or doing some research or just using it and thinking they're doing a great job, which you may well be, but you might think differently about it after today's episode.
Exactly. So don't get us wrong. We're not for it nor against AI. We use it every single day. But we have an unpopular opinion about it, don't we, Vicki? We do not believe that AI is a content strategy. It's a photocopier, and everyone is photocopying each other.
Yes, that is the truth. And then they wonder why people are not engaging with their content.
Exactly, because you just cannot build relationships using templates, especially the
Oh,
same ones everyone else is using.
ugh. We both use AI every single day, as Laura said, and we're not here to tell you not to.
We're here to tell you what's happening when you're using it wrong.
What we see is smart, interesting, experienced women using AI and then disappearing behind their own content.
Yeah, they're actually becoming invisible while trying to be more visible.
It's actually heartbreaking. So, this is the conversation we're going to have today.
Canva came out many years ago now, and AI is even, 3 years old, maybe four. I think we're heading on to 4 years now. So, these tools have been out for a while and people are using them, and it's part of their everyday content strategy. But what's happening? We're getting an explosion of content, but it's all starting to sound the same. And I'm sure if you've been online at all recently, you're seeing some backlash against the AI flyers and, the AI broetry, the stuff that is just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. There's too much of it. It's too samey, and people are just starting to scroll right past it. It was hard enough to get seen on most people's feed before, but now people are like actively turned off by it because it just feels like photocopied sameness that people aren't going to bother to stop for. So what changes that? Like what are the things that people who are doing this right doing?
Yeah, I, for one, am one of those people. I will not read a post that even looks, smells, sniffs like it was written by AI. It offends my senses. Call me sensitive, but it does. I feel like my time and my intelligence is worth more than reading some muck that got churned out by a machine. And what breaks my heart about it is that the founders who are using this thinking they're doing the right thing and saving themselves time, that part of it is right. Yet you're putting energy, you're putting heart, you're putting time and focus into the content only for someone to like me to just scroll past it.
Mhm.
So I like to just bring it right back to the place that we always start. Strategy. What is the purpose of your post? We used to say years ago when we started talking about branding and personal branding, but marketing generally, what you must post with purpose. What is the purpose of your post? Right? Which is your strategy. So I'm not talking about having a strategic plan. AI can certainly help you with that, by the way. Use it as a coach, use it as a second brain, use it as a champion, use AI as your work buddy, as a marketing expert. All of those things, fabulous. Lean in, use it. However, there's work to be done before you get to that. And that is where you teach it to be who you are.
Hmm.
You must put in the strategy. You must be clear on who you're serving. You must be clear on what your messaging is and why your messaging is what it is. We can't get away from that. We can get help from it, with it, but we can't get away from it. That's the work we must do with our AI assistants before we ask it to do any work for us.
Yeah. Well, it's basically this: garbage in, polished garbage out.
Ooh,
So
ouch.
the
Ooh.
the input is the key part here. If you are not inputting really good quality information, strategy, detail, then you're not going to get out anything other than the median of everybody else. right? Because all AI is doing is drawing from the majority of everything and creating something. That's why everything's starting to look the same, because people are liking this particular output. And then so, the AI goes, okay, more of that, more of that. People are liking it, more of that, more of that. And then everything starts to look exactly the same. And people are using AI as productivity tool, which is exactly what it is. It is an amazing productivity tool. It gets us things way faster. We can create faster, we can build faster, we can produce so much faster, which is amazing. But if all we're producing is the average median stuff, like how are you going to stand out? And it's more important now to stand out than ever because there is more content being created than ever. So what are you doing to stand out? It has to be you, and you have to be that unique ingredient. What makes us all special, what makes us all creative beings, no matter what it is you produce in this world, we are the sum total of all our life experiences. Everything that's happened to us since childhood, all the beliefs, all the experiences, all the things that we have been through is what makes us unique and has led us to where we are right now. When we lose that and hand all that over to a machine to figure out what the rest of the world is looking for, then we just become this homogenized society of sameness, which gets drained out and gets ignored so quickly because you're no different than anybody else. What makes you stand out? It's the sum of your experiences, and you cannot even input all of those experiences into AI without months of work, right? So let's be realistic about that. How can we be clearer, and how can we be more authentically us, and how can we stand out unless we're sharing really from the heart? So taking the time to create the original things, the original thoughts, the things that people remember about you and then want to connect with you to build that relationship with you for whatever it is you're trying to do in this world, whatever your big mission is. You need to be able to be real and authentic and stand out. And it's harder now than ever, but there's also this flip side. And we're not saying don't use AI, because we absolutely do believe in it, but use it in a way that helps you build the structure that you can then shine through. So, how do you show up? How do you create a personal brand so magnetic that people recognize you from the first few seconds of speaking or immediately from your content? It means thinking a little bit differently. It means doing things a little bit differently. When everybody zigs, you've got to zag, right? It's really key. So I am seeing in the branding sphere, and especially in the graphic design sphere, that people are going towards more organic, more hand drawn, more illustrative things. We're seeing people speaking from the heart, less polished, more real, more just right to the point, less, verbiage for days, but really more specific, more driven, more targeted, more niched. The things that we often try to go against because you feel like, oh, maybe there's not enough, and the scarcity mindset kicks in and you think, there's not enough to go around, where the reality is everyone that's just generalizing are going to get really hard time being noticed, versus those of you who are very targeted and clear on your messaging, your positioning, what you're doing, they're going to be the ones that stand out. So, however you want to stand out, whether it's your packaging for a new product, being more organic and real and hand drawn and artisan, rather than being the same as everybody else and AI generated. That's what I'm seeing on my side of things.
It's amazing advice. I love everything you said. And thank you for sharing what you're seeing and your expertise and your experience, because that's not an opinion or insight that's often shared. So I think it's really worth leaning into and listening to and noticing, because you see the front edge. You have that eye that looks around at what other designers are doing, and you notice what stands out, which gives others who learn from you the edge to know where to be at that front edge. So it's very exciting. And I think the truth about AI is we must use it to support us. We use it to build a system. We love systems, and we also love strategy. So we've just spoken about the strategy piece, and we can definitely help you with the strategy piece. If you have questions about that, please reach out. Please just email us or direct message us here on Laura's LinkedIn page. And we'd love to help you with that. Once you have the strategy right, you pretty much have everything you need to roll out going forward. And then we're just talking about planning it. And then from having a plan, you can develop a system.
Yeah, exactly. I like to think of AI as my planning tool, like you said, but also the thing that helps you through the blank page syndrome, right? That's when you're staring at a blank page and have no idea what to write, what to say, what to draw, what to design, whatever. So it's kind of like that first step, that starting point, that just kicking off point. But you've got to then take your discernment through whatever it output it gives you and put your polish on it. I think it's really important that we don't lose the humanness in what we are creating in this world. We do not just want a world created by AI. My favorite saying is like, I want AI to like wash my dishes and clean my house so that I can paint and draw and create, right? Not the other way around, right? We got to be able to put our beauty, our thoughts, our pain, all of that into our work because that's what's interesting and that's what attracts magnetically what we're looking for.
Yes, the relationships, the relationships. It's so important. That's what personal branding is built on, relationships. And that's what people connect with. We buy from people. We want to work with people. We want to create with people, not with businesses, not with churned out muck from a machine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's also a time for collaboration. Me and Vicky have been talking about collaboration for most of our time working together over the last, gosh, it's almost 7 years now, Vicky. And collaboration has been a big part of that. And the reason we started working together was through a collaboration. And we recognize that we make our individual works better by collaborating on them. So it is a time to collaborate with other thinkers and with other people building brands and building together community, using partnerships, using memberships, being involved in things and involved in different things too because that's what is making humans more interesting is their collective combination of experiences, passions, all the things. We work with people who are multi-passionate, right? And they all the time they say like, I don't know how to niche. I don't know how to describe who I am. I like this and that and the other thing. How do I say that, who I am? Well, I think that's exactly what makes you the most interesting is that we're multi-passionate. Some of us are writers and artists and also love to get techie on math, or whatever it is. But that's what makes you interesting because you have all these different things. And then when you can collaborate with somebody else that maybe is the opposite of you, and then the two of you together can create really amazing things because connect in a way that is more interesting than without. And it's risk taking. It's interesting. It is what changes the world. I see it over and over, and I want to see more of it. We have to get out of these individual silos. Even if you're a solo entrepreneur, how can you be part of a community that can help your thinking to grow and expand? And how can we just integrate these tools like AI in ways that support us, but don't limit us and don't make us sound like everybody else? Because I'm tired of it. It's not even been that long and it's already exhausting. And most people are just skipping past it. They want nothing to do with it. So we have to pay
That's so true.
attention.
I've heard other female founders say, I fight with my AI all the time because I tell it off and it comes back to me with some BS that sounds so generic. And I have a fight with it because it's not what I'm looking for, because we need to keep on top of it. It's the accountability piece, right? Particularly if your strategy hasn't been strong in setting it up with your brand tone, your brand voice, your messaging, your key audience, etc. So I really would encourage, like, play with it, stretch yourself and stretch it, and use it as your brainstorming partner. Use it to consider what would be, to your point about partnerships and collaboration, what would be an ideal partnership for me to reach a new market or to achieve a goal. So use it for those purposes and for research purposes. Fantastic research. Like, who's using Google these days? No. Just ask it to research what are the latest and provide the sources that it's using so you can double check the accuracy of it. I mean, these are the brilliant use cases for AI and definitely does save time. And
Yeah.
there's so many brilliant use cases. So really, it's about choosing how to bring AI in as your assistant, as a tool, without losing the essence of who you are, the connection piece, the piece that really makes you human, because that's the
Yeah.
personal branding piece.
Yeah. And I will always say that one really good, authentic, real piece of content that maybe, is a little controversial or strikes a nerve or says something with a real opinion behind it is 10 times better than 100 pieces of generic content that all looks the same. And if you need to test this, if you're not sure, if you don't believe me, you're like, okay, yeah, Laura, okay, whatever, go ahead and do it yourself. Do one video of you talking about an opinion that you have, post that, then post 10 pieces of generic content, just promoting your services or your brand or whatever, and test the engagement. That's it. Marketing is a big experiment. It is ever changing, it is evolving. And with AI, it's going faster than ever. But if you want to figure out what's working for you, do your own little mini experiment and try it out and do it, you know, unsure of yourself, be cringy, don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect lighting and the perfect microphone and the perfect editing. Just start somewhere, test it out, see what's working. Real, authentic, non perfect is working. So that's our suggestion for today. That's our topic for today. We believe in AI. We want you to use it. We don't want women to fall behind because we've heard that they are. We want women using AI so that we're training the models too on the feminine perspective, which is also really important in business. But also, don't lose your voice and continue to share the important things that you have to say from your unique perspective because the world needs it, frankly. And we need more women building businesses. We need more women sitting in CEO seats. We need more women using their voices. Stop being humble, start being heard, and then you light the way for the next generation. So thank you for joining us today. If you want to learn more, always reach out to us. You can DM us individually. You can write a comment below, whatever is right for you. And we would love to hear from you. Where are you at with your personal branding? What do you think about AI? Are you using it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you sick of it already? We would love to hear from you. So thanks for joining us. As always, it's been a blast. Thanks, Vicki.
Cheers.